Now, new FIA president Mohammed Ben Sulayem met with Mercedes Formula One team principal Toto Wolff as part of a series of meetings between FIA and the F1 team's executives to discuss solutions to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix controversy. This comes after the FIA launched an investigation into the events of the season's finale's final laps, casting serious doubt on the organization's credibility. Without further ado, let's take a look at the storm brewing in Formula One right now. We've all heard this story by now. With 2 laps remaining in the race under the safety car, FIA race director Michael Masi decided to allow only the lap cars between race leader Lewis Hamilton and championship rival Max Verstappen to unlap themselves. This effectively gave the Dutchman the championship, as he was able to pit for new tyres for free under the safety car. In response, Mercedes filed protests which were quickly dismissed, but the FIA stepped in to launch an internal investigation into the event, and more specifically, the race director's decisions. Many critics point out that Masi, the man tasked with enforcing the rules, appeared to make them up as he went along. According to reports, the Australian struggled to deal with the pressures of the situation, which included interventions from both title-contending teams. As a result, the sport's integrity has been called into question. Following the race, F1 Managing Director Ross Brawn suggested that team executives be barred from using the race control channel. Surprisingly, Toto Wolff, the Mercedes F1 team principal, who was partially responsible for the problem, agreed. I agree with Ross, but I equally blame Ross and myself because we've been part of the decision making to broadcast more of the channels for the purpose of transparency and entertainment for the fans. There is so much going on in the intercom that giving fans a little bit of an overview of all the little dramas that happen, like is the car breaking down? Are we having some kind of strategy discussions, was meant well, but I think we overshot. I need to take myself by the nose, and Christian, we were given the opportunity to talk to the race director directly, and because we fight so fiercely for the interest of our teams, all of us overstepped. It certainly was part of the failures this year that under pressure from the team principals, also the race director's life wasn't made easier, certainly. Another factor to consider is that while Hamilton has not spoken publicly since the race, it's clear that the 7-time champion is extremely unhappy with the situation and will not make a decision on whether to continue in F1 until the FIA addresses the issues raised by Abu Dhabi. According to the media, substantive action will be required to begin rebuilding Hamilton's trust in the governing body. The alternative for the FIA is to face the possibility, however remote, of the most successful driver in history leaving the sport and claiming that he's doing so because he does not trust the sport's governing body to administer F1 fairly. If the FIA isn't aware of a crisis right now, it will be if that happens. This investigation was promised by the FIA 3 days after Abu Dhabi. However, work on it did not begin until earlier this month, and Ben Sulayem's meeting with Wolff took place a little more than a month after the race in Abu Dhabi. Even with Christmas in mind, some in the sport find this delay inexplicable. Mercedes has declined to comment for the time being, and the FIA has yet to respond to inquiries about Ben Sulayem's meeting with Wolff. But Wolff, who along with Hamilton boycotted the FIA's prize-giving ceremony in Abu Dhabi last month in protest, will have left the president with no doubts about how Mercedes feels about what happened, as well as some of his expectations for how to move forward. Masi's position is central to all of this. The controversy in Abu Dhabi was by far the most significant during his tenure as race director, but it was far from the only one. Masi is well liked in the paddock. However, the 2021 season was marked by a number of complaints from drivers and teams regarding the consistency and clarity of decision making. And it's fair to say that Masi has lost the trust of many, if not all, of the teams and drivers in his professional role. Martin Brundle, a former F1 driver and Sky Sports commentator, spoke out about the situation earlier this week, urging people to be careful what they wish for. If the FIA and F1 want Michael Masi to stay, and if Michael Masi wants to stay, he's clearly got only one life left, so I don't know if that's tenable all around. Who would you replace him with? Be careful what you wish for, I would say in this. What I absolutely know for sure is that changing Michael Masi will not fix the problem. This is way too big a job for one person to handle in a 23 race season that's only going to grow. Former Formula One race winner and commentator Johnny Herbert, on the other hand, stated unequivocally that Masi has lost the trust of the people in the paddock. The position that he's in, you've got to have trust. I think that trust has completely and utterly evaporated. The problem is, who do you replace him with? Because experience is going to be very, very important for who slots into that position. Michael was very fortunate working underneath Charlie Whiting and learned a lot of good things from that point of view. Is there anyone who stands out for me to replace him? No, and that is the conundrum. Even with the difficulty of finding a replacement in mind, many insiders believe that a new race director should be the minimum starting point for any reorganization that results from this investigation. Aside from the general lack of faith in Massey's suitability for the role, it's difficult to see how the new season could begin with Hamilton in a Mercedes and Massey still in charge of race control. That doesn't appear to be a sustainable situation in the aftermath of Abu Dhabi. And even if Massey remained in his position, it's unlikely that the controversy would ever be resolved because the next mistake would bring it all back up again. Following his meeting with Wolff, Ben Sulayem will hold similar discussions with all of the F1 team principals in order to form a clear picture where they all stand on the issues raised in Abu Dhabi. This is an opportunity for the FIA to determine whether Massey failed to follow the rules as he should have, and methods to ensure that the sporting regulations are clarified to remove any perceived ambiguity will surely be discussed. Following that, the FIA Secretary General for Motorsport and newly appointed Executive Director of Single-Seaters, Peter Bayer, will conduct the detailed investigation. Bayer will preside over a meeting of the FIA Sporting Advisory Committee, on which all F1 team sporting directors will sit to discuss the use of the safety car. Bayer has also been asked to present proposals to review and optimize the organisation of the FIA F1 structure for the 2022 season to Ben Sulayem. This is interpreted as a decision on whether Massey's job will be retained, as well as ways to ensure that the race director receives more support and less distraction during the Grand Prix. There is, however, no time frame for this. While fans speculate whether Lewis Hamilton will return to the sport in 2022 to compete for the championship once more, the Brit and his team have remained silent on the subject. Ben Sulayem, on the other hand, believes the 7-time champion will make a comeback. No, I don't think he will quit. I'll ask your question. Did Lewis declare that he's not going to race? No, exactly. Being a driver, you declare yourself. You don't let the rumours talk. I'm confident that Lewis will return. Lewis is a big part of motorsport, and of course Formula 1. The new era can add to Lewis's wins and achievements, and also Verstappen is there. I'm very confident that you will see a very challenging Formula 1 season next year. The media has also raised concerns about the investigation's reported timeline. The only confirmed date was that final decisions would be announced at the World Motorsport Council on March 18. However, this is also the first practice day for the season's first race. Can the teams race their new cars without knowing who they'll be dealing with at the FIA on both sporting and technical matters, given that the position of single-seater technical chief Nicolas Tombazzi has also been called into question in recent days? Then there's Hamilton. How can he make a decision about his future career if it's contingent on the outcome of the investigation, which will conclude after the winter test and during the practice day in Bahrain? So, despite the FIA's issued timeline, the picture of how F1 will change as a result of the Abu Dhabi controversy will have to emerge much sooner than the Bahrain Grand Prix on Friday. Overall, the current controversy is unquestionably the tip of the F1 iceberg. The outcome of the FIA investigation will undoubtedly have a lasting impact, as the sport's integrity and competition are being called into question. It appears that Michael Massey will be replaced as race director, but whoever replaces him or her will need a better system in place to help them cope with one of the most demanding jobs in sport. Thank you for your time. If you liked the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to click the bell button to be notified of future videos. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Michael Massey's decisions at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix? Do you think Mercedes meeting with the FIA president calls the FIA's integrity into question? Will Hamilton make a comeback in 2022? We'd love to hear your thoughts.